Now, one thing about the pheasant back, or dryad saddle, a lot of people will take this honeycomb-like material down here.
Yeah.
And you want to get these, and you can just kind of scrape that off. You see how that works?
Oh, yeah. Why do you do that?
Just for better texture.
Okay.
Once you get down into there, you see the texture of the mushroom itself. A lot of times, they start to mature more around the edges. And if it's a little bit hard, you'll get rid of that hard edge or exterior. This one's still in pretty good shape. You want to get these while they're still supple. And remember with mushrooms, if you're going to go foraging, it's up to you to make sure you're making the right decision. I can't be there for you. Make sure that you have somebody that IDs them, that knows what they're doing, or make sure you know what you're doing. And it can take a lot of research, but if you carefully key these things out, you will have no problems with them. I mean, you can't miss on these. We showed you what a false morel looks like. These are obviously hollow all the way through, and that makes them delicious morels. All right, so let's go ahead and cut those into little strips.
Okay, so just like a strip?
Yeah. Now, a lot of people will strip off that feathered look on the other side. I always leave that. I don't have a bit of problem with that.
That looks good in the middle. Nice and white.
Mm-hmm. All right, so here's how this recipe is gonna look, and I know you're gonna like it because I know your taste. Fennel is one of my favorite things to cook with, and as you know, I've been on a fennel kick.
Yes, you have.
Fennel sometimes can be found in the wild, just like asparagus. My father used to go along the fence rows in Mason County, and birds would eat the seeds, and they would sit on the fence rows.
Mm-hmm.
There's a process there, you know where I'm going?
Yes.
They would deposit the seeds, seeds would fall on the fence rows, and you would see asparagus, and Dad would pick that out and make his own asparagus beds out of wild asparagus.
Wow.
Fennel sometimes can be found like that as well. So here's our process. We're gonna get our mushrooms cut in half and then cut into smaller pieces. Now, if you are lucky enough to have a bonus year of morels and you can't possibly use them up, and you wanna be greedy and keep them all and not give them away, you can dehydrate those.
Good idea.
And we have shown you how to do that in the past. Just get your dehydrator and look up how we did that. So we take our mushrooms, get them ready for the pan. We're gonna take those and we're gonna dry them off. If you look in the water, you'll see some things that have sloughed off. That's why we rinse them. If you don't have morels or you can't find a pheasant back or some oyster mushrooms out in the wild, any mushroom will do in this situation. Just your common white mushrooms, you can buy them already cut up or get them and cut them yourself. You can use a portobello or a baby portobello would be really good in these.
Those are good.
So you don't have to use these wild mushrooms. If you can find them, that's great. It'll be just as good with those store-bought mushrooms. We're gonna take our fennel, our garlic, and a shallot. I want those strong flavors in this. I want the mushrooms and the fennel. That's a very popular duo, is the fennel and the mushrooms. You'll find several recipes for these, a lot of them very close. Now you can use butter, or you can use olive oil, or a combination of both. We're gonna take mostly butter and put in there, and we're gonna saute our shallot, and then our fennel. We're gonna cut the bottom of the bulb and just cut strips across that. So when you're cooking outside, one thing that I like is this little snake feature. You can raise it up, set it down, move it from left to right, and if you're cooking on the grates themselves, you just kind of move it around in or out of the fire. That's your temperature adjust. Then after our fennel and our shallot is going along pretty good, we're gonna press some garlic into that, about 3 cloves of garlic into that. Now again, as always, you do not want to overdo your garlic. You don't want that bitter taste. We still got a little cooking to do, so I'm gonna mix that back up with the whole rest of the batch here in a minute. Then I'm gonna turn over the mushrooms, all that together.
Yes.
If I need more butter or some more olive oil, I'll put that back in there. Once that gets going pretty well, I'm gonna start to season it with our thyme and our sage, black pepper, a little bit of salt, just a few red pepper flakes. Chicken broth, that's probably 2½ tablespoons. A bit of fennel liqueur, or you could use an anise liqueur. If you don't like any of those, you can use a white wine, or you can use just chicken broth, depending on what you like. Now I'm gonna bring back the butter. I'm gonna let this reduce. Now you see that has reduced down dramatically. So at this point, coming back with some Parmesan cheese. 1/4 of a cup of cheese so far. Then we're going to take our pasta. Now I'm going to do my best Kentucky Italian actually. Ready?
I'm ready.
I'm going to do a pinna rigate.
You did that good.
Pinna rigate. The pinna is a tube.
Okay.
The rigate means it has ridges on it.
Oh.
Now those little ridges will hold the sauce better. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So that's what we're going to have tonight. That's the pasta we're going to have. Now in the preparation of the pasta, you want to make sure it comes out about the same time
Right.
as this meal comes together. At this point, Nikki is taking our pasta. She is putting a little bit of butter, a little bit of cheese, tossing it in that so we have even more cheese and even more butter to let that melt and thicken up. Then you put your mushroom mix back on top of that.
I like it.
And it's going to be a beautiful thing. All right, now, isn't it fun to go out and find things in the woods and bring them home and cook them?
This is really neat that you got all this out there. This is great. Only the pasta.
Look at it. Should we eat it or just look at it?
Let's eat it. I'm gonna try some
All right.
with a mushroom.
I'm gonna get a whole big bite because I'm starving.
Oh, I had a morel. Those are so good. Those are delicious. It's hard to describe a morel, isn't it? It's
Is
just,
that your favorite mushroom?
I think it is my favorite mushroom.
Look what we've got. And in all reality, when you eat this, do you even miss meat or want meat in there?
No, those are. You know what? Your fennel gave it a great flavor. The fennel, that's all you needed in the shallots. It's perfect. And a morel, I'm happy.
And the sage and the thyme is coming through.
Very good. Delish.
Think about this. The more you cook, the more experiences you put yourself in when you put this flavor and this flavor and this flavor together, the more ideas you'll have. This is a common recipe that a lot of people use with variations. So if you're looking for something to go along with your mushrooms to complement it, to give it that nice flavor, that to me is perfect. Sage, thyme, fennel, shallot, butter,
Perfect.
Parmesan, yum, yum, yum.
I think I like your fennel kick.
Yeah, I know. I hope we don't
really
run
good.
out anytime soon. That being said, let's take a look at what's going on around the farm. I guess we haven't taken the camera around much. Now, we have 5 boys so far this year and a girl. People ask us, do you eat your lambs? We don't. Not that we haven't before, but more now people want these for hobby farms,
Right.
for breeding purposes, and that's really where our lambs go. So they are going to live their lives out bouncing around in the field, just like Mavis, all our old girls.
That's right.
They're going to die of old age. So they have quite the life and they're quite pets. And our ram, Spot Nose,
Spot nose. He loves Kelly.
he is a sweet ram.
He is sweet.
That's why we kept him, because he doesn't butt us.
But you know what? Montana's a little sweeter. So we might have to keep
that's
Montana.
true.
I'm kind of attached.
So let's get another bite or two and then let's bring on the star.